Hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to implement this track marks on this vehicle like this. So as you can see here, as this vehicle moves in the snow, it carves apart just like these balls, physics enabled balls. So as I move through the landscape, you can see this track has been carved. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. This will be continued from the previous episodes that I have worked on landscape deformation using runtime virtual textures. So you will need those parts in order to work with this. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you very much for your support. Right, so this is what we have worked on at the moment. We have these balls that we have enabled physics, and they are moving down, and as they move along they carve a path on the snow like this, and also the character can carve a path. So yeah, so for now I want to work on now I want to add a vehicle that carves a path that makes a track by deforming the landscape on the snow. Right, so let's add this vehicle pack, this one or this one. I think this one would be better because we can see the tires there. So I'll add it. Okay, now after adding that, we should have vehicle game advanced game mode. So let's change the game mode to that and play. See, now we have the game like this, but it doesn't carve a path yet. Okay, so let's open the vehicle blueprint. Like this, and also I'll open this one of these physics object blueprints as well, because we need to copy this part where we spawn a footprint object. So we can use the same thing, same class. By spawning the same class we can carve a path. So right, and under the tick, now let's create a new custom event. Let's call it spawn track marks. Right, and here I'll add a variable. Let's call it preview track location. So I'm gonna now let's just call it previous location. It should be a vector. I'm going to use this variable to store the location of the current location of this vehicle, and if the vehicle has moved a certain distance from that location, when we try to spawn track mark next, we should again spawn track marks, otherwise we should not. So if we are staying in the same place, even if we call this event in the tick, we wouldn't be spawning multiple track mark objects on top of each other. So that's why I need this. Right, so in the begin play, I'll first we need to have 4 track marks on the tires, even if we haven't moved yet. So to make that happen, I'll set preview location like this, get current, get after location, and let's add some offset to that. Let's say 100 and save it like this. Okay, now here get the previous location and also get actor location. So if you haven't watched the previous video that I have created this footprint is no actor, you will have to watch it, otherwise you wouldn't understand it properly. So I'll put a link below in the description where you will find how do I created this actor. So yeah, but if you have already watched it, no problem, you can follow along. Okay, now we can get the distance from previous location to the current location, and if this distance is larger than, let's promote this to a variable so we can change it and fine tune the effect. Let's call it track mark gap. I'll set as the default value 20. So for something like a vehicle, spawning too many objects in maybe every second could be taxing on performance, so we might have to have some kind of object pooling system. But first let's do this and see how to optimize, see how that goes, and then we can look into optimization. Right, if this is true, we have to spawn 4 footprint marks for each tire. So spawn actor from class and pp footprint snow. Spawn transform, well, for this, what's the scale is 1 location. Rotation we can keep it as 0. So for location I have to use each tire's location. So let's take a look at this skeleton. Vehicle, okay, P6 wheel FL, P6 wheel FR. Okay, these are the locations we need, these are the sockets we need to access. Maybe this hub. Oh, actually we can Yeah, instead of doing it this way, we might be able to do some other way too. Yeah, to make it one object with 4 footprints. So how to do that? Let's go here, create a child blueprint, BP, let's call it track mark. Now here we have, let me enable the visibility of this. Like this. Now I'll add this skeletal mesh just for reference, just like in this vehicle blueprint. Okay, is this size correct? Scale, not so sure. Let's place one of them in the world and see. This is the vehicle, and this is track mark. It seems fine. Yeah, it's fine. So actually we need this vehicle just to determine the wheel locations. Right, and let's duplicate this static mesh component, but wait, we need to change this a little bit. This shouldn't be the root of this object. So let's go to the snow footprint and let's add a scene component. Oh, we have a problem. This is in an inherited component. Okay, alright, no problem. So let's call this W1. It should map with this wheel. Have the sphere. This static mesh. Like this, but it is too big. So wait a minute. Let's place the mannequin and see if it is actually this small. I'm not sure. Yeah, actually it is small. Okay, no problem. So we can make it smaller, like this, and this should have the same material. Deform source sphere. F1. Let's duplicate this. For the next wheel, duplicate both for the other wheel, the back wheels. Like this. Okay. Alright, and now let's go back to perspective mode, and we don't really need this vehicle static mesh now again. It was just as a reference. So let's change these also back to only virtual texture only. And this one RVT land. For this one also we should use RVT land. Right, now let's spawn this BP track mark on the vehicle instead of footprint, and compile. And as the spawn location, get actor transform split, scale is 111, location and rotation is like this. And yeah, set preview location with the current location. Now call this event in the tick spawn track marks. Save. Let's see what happens. It's not falling. Oh, wait. We should disable collisions for these objects. No overlap points also. Okay, now we can see we are carving a path, but not exactly like we expected. If I detach the character and look again, it is like this. Alright, let's check. Right, maybe we should have a different blueprint for this. Yeah, let's copy this and create a actor blueprint EP tracks, and on the default route paste. Oh, this is wrong because the scale was wrong. So let's add that mesh. First, and then let's paste. Wrong. Oh, but anyway, let's copy and fix it here. It is 0.5 and these are 0.25. I'll make this one also 0.25. Let's go to the top view and let's make them render in both passes. Okay, and let's move them up like this. Now I'll delete the vehicle, compile, and in the vehicle, instead of pp track mark, I'll spawn pp tracks. Okay, we need to disable the rendering on main pass and set it to virtual texture only. Okay, cool. Now we got what we need. Right, so if I toggle debug camera and go out, you can see the path that carved by this vehicle. Actually, it would be better if I have some mark in the middle too, to show the friction between the middle part and the tires, but this is enough to demonstrate. What else? Yeah, let's see how the performance of this. Start FPS and reprocess. Actually, it's not much of a problem at the moment, but if it is a problem, we can do something like this. We can do a basically object pooling system like this. Here I can create a variable in the type of, oh wait, let me promote this to variable track marks and break it, turn this into an array. Get track marks, add like this. Now if we before spawning, we can do something like this. If the track marks length, that means the number of elements, is larger than, let's say, 200, or maybe already too much, but you can limit the number here to whatever you want. Okay, let's try with 100. Branch. If no, let's check if it is less than 100. Spawn a new track mark. Otherwise, get the element. So how do we determine the element? Let's promote a variable. Let's call it track index. Get the track index and set at the location and rotation. Like this. And then increment the track index. So here we shouldn't try to get item that does not exist in this array, and as I increment this track index, we could get have values like maybe some values larger than 100. So here we can instead of doing it like this, track index plus 1 and set track index. So here, instead of directly setting this, we can do a modulus division here. So what this does is, and we can use, let's promote this to a variable. Track mark count to a modulus division using track mark count and set it as the variable. So if the track mark count is 100, then this track index will always have something less than 100 by using a modulus division. So what modulus division does is, say if it is 99, then this will return 99. Basically, try to divide by this number, whatever the input here, and give the remainder. So here, if 99 is divided by 100, then it's 0 plus then actually the answer is 0 point something. So the remainder is 99. So if you Google what modulus division is, you will understand. I'm not trying to explain it any further. Right, now we would be spawning maximum 100 of these tracks. So let's see if this approach works, and it does. So see, the trail get vanished like this as I go further, because the actors, the spawned objects in the ladder part of the trail is pulled back into the front. That's why those get vanished as I move forward. See? Okay. If you want to have a longer trail, we can actually increase that track mark count. That is also working great. Oh, I feel like Rocket League. Okay, where is the other balls? Okay, there is one. Oh, it's gone. It went over the world. Okay. To conclude this episode, but maybe let's leave that for another part. Anyway, all you have to do is, if you need to have a particle, if you need to have some particles spawned at the as the vehicle moves, so you can just add 4 particle emitters into these and spawn them once. So you will have a consistent particles emitted from the road, from the tires, or you can just add them into the vehicle blueprint itself. You can emit the particles from the location of these tires, but I'm not gonna do that here because this have already taken 30 minutes. Right, and project files will be available for the download in Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. So thanks for watching. See you in another episode. Goodbye.